Hi guys, welcome to Skylark Music Studios. My name is Lee and today I want to show you how to play the French timpani grip. If you saw the last video, that was the German timpani grip. I'll just quickly explain the difference. Very basically, the German grip involves the back of the hand facing upwards. The French timpani grip involves the thumb being on top of the stick and facing upwards. That's the difference. Now, I have to say, this isn't a grip that I particularly practice. I find the German grip more comfortable for me. But if you watch Simon Phillips or Billy Cobham and see them play, which is predominantly a French timpani grip that they start with, thumbs on top, their technique is absolutely formidable. So this is something you can get to grips with and have a fantastic career, in fact, and technique with, if you choose to practice this one. As I say, it's not really the one that I would use so much. I use it in a jazz context on the ride cymbal, and that's really because as I throw my hand across from the German position onto the ride so that I can keep my elbow down, I go into a French position for the ride. That means I'm not doing this to keep my hand, you see this will create tension, and I'm not doing this to keep my hand in a German position. I tried that, believe me, it was painful. So throwing the hand over gives me the same sort of elbow position, which keeps me comfortable, means there's no tension in my arm, and that's when I would go for more of a French grip. To explain how we do that on the snare drum, we literally, as I say, thumbs on top. I would probably still go with open fulcrum somewhat because that's the way I like to play. That keeps me more relaxed, and all of the fingers are holding onto the stick. Okay, you can see that in there as well. And that's what it sort of looks like from that angle. Okay, and then obviously you can see on the side view with the fingers this way. So where this technique does work quite nicely is it really helps with some finger control exercises. So if you were sort of dropping the stick down and then playing this type of thing, you see that from the side there? You've got the thumb as a really nice pivot point, you see. So it's a nice technique for certain things. I just tend to not play it so much myself, as I say. But the idea is, as a match grip technique, which is the way you'd see Simon Phillips play this. And if you don't know Simon Phillips, by the way, please look him up. Absolutely amazing. He's using both hands in exactly the same way. There's a little bit more of a turn these days. But the idea is that you've got this thumb on top, which is your pivot point, and then you can get some finger control happening. It's also worth pointing out, by the way, that Simon Phillips and Billy Cobham, and actually a guy called Carter Buford who plays for Dave Matthews Band, he plays open-handed and uses a lot of French technique as well. Now these guys lower the hi-hat a little bit and they play open-handed, which means that they don't play the hi-hat in the traditional way with the right hand and the left hand underneath. They play the right hand on the snare drum on a right-handed setup drum kit, and they play the left hand over here. As I say, this is classed as open-handed. Again, I like to do this myself, but I use a slightly different technique for it. Now, this technique really lends, the French technique lends quite nicely to this open-handed playing, especially if your hi-hat's out to the side, because you can kink your hand a bit, which is very much a Carter Buford type thing, and then you've got access to your fingers on all of these things happening on the hi-hat. You see, that's a really nice way of playing the hi-hat. And obviously this hand is playing sort of more of a snap on the snare, you can see that. And as you move around the tom-toms, the same thing will happen. Okay, so open-handed, lovely for a French grip. And so I tend to go for a slightly different approach, but it's a nice grip to have for finger control. And when you watch a lot of the guys, a lot of the pro guys doing their drum solos, even if they come from a sort of a molar or molar or German position, with their hand sort of facing, back of the hand facing upwards, they quite often do a little sort of a roll thing where they would put their fingers in and sort of push into the snare drum and use a French sort of grip, just as a sort of a show thing. I guess it shows they can do it. It's a nice grip, not my favourite, but you've got to know how to do it. Thumbs on top, fingers underneath, controlling the stick. Remember, as I said in the last video, these are like percentages. Each digit on the stick is 20%, making 100% of control. As soon as you take one off, you know, you could practice that sort of rolling technique like that. Again, that's good for control, but ultimately you want to have all 5 digits on the stick to give you 100% of control. As soon as you take one off, you're losing 20% of control, and you really can feel that. So that will give you more of an even sort of French snap if you use all the fingers. Try use one finger, it's a wreck. It doesn't work. Okay, so that's the French grip, very basically. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, it's something worth practicing because it does give you the access to the fingers in a slightly different way to the German grip. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again. Bye-bye.